Let me tell you something right now. Your mind is either your greatest asset or your biggest enemy. That's it. There's no middle ground. You either learn how to control it or it controls you. Simple. Every single day, you are walking around with a machine more powerful than any computer ever built. But what are you doing with it? Are you training it, sharpening it, working on it? Are you letting it sit there collecting dust, filling up with negativity, doubt, and fear? You wouldn't drive a car every day and never change the oil, would you? Then why are you living day after day and never changing the way you think? People want success, they want peace, they want happiness. But they don't want to do the one thing that makes all of that possible: train the mind. That's the foundation. You can dress nice, speak well, go to church, go to therapy, post motivation all day on Instagram. But if your mind is undisciplined, you're going nowhere. You'll be circling the same block of frustration and wondering why you keep getting the same results. It's not your job, it's not your mama, it's not your ex, it's your mindset. Your mind is the operating system that runs everything in your life. And if it's corrupted, so is everything else. Let me ask you something. What do you feed your mind on a daily basis? Don't lie. Don't sugarcoat it. Are you feeding it doubt, gossip, drama, comparison, fear? Or are you feeding it purpose, clarity, vision, strategy, belief? Because whatever you feed your mind will grow, just like a plant. You water doubt, you grow fear. You water belief, you grow strength. That's not magic. That's discipline. That's how it works. What you think about becomes what you believe. What you believe becomes how you act. And how you act becomes your life. So you better stop acting like your thoughts don't matter, because they do. Now let's be real. Training your mind isn't sexy. It ain't fun. It's not flashy. Nobody's handing out awards for keeping your attitude in check or staying calm when somebody disrespects you. But let me tell you what it does. It builds mental strength. It builds endurance. It builds character. See, too many people out here want to be strong without doing the reps. They want to be confident without facing any fear. They want peace without practicing patience. That's not how it works. Just like in the gym, if you want to get stronger, you got to lift something heavy. And if you want a strong mind, you got to deal with some heavy situations, but you got to keep lifting. You got to keep showing up. You got to do the mental push-ups every single day. Wake up early and sit in silence. Turn off the phone and listen to your thoughts. Read something that stretches your perspective. Challenge your fears instead of running from them. Speak life into yourself, even when you don't feel like it. That's training. That's putting in the reps, because a strong mind don't just happen, it's built. Brick by brick, day by day. And let me be clear, it's not about being perfect. It's about being committed. You're gonna mess up, you're gonna slip, but that's part of the process. Champions fall too, but they don't stay down. They use every failure as fuel. They get back up with more determination than before. And don't get it twisted. This isn't just about achieving success in business or making money. This is about your peace, your joy, your ability to keep going when life punches you in the mouth, because it will. Life don't care about your plans. Life don't care about your feelings. But if your mind is trained, if it's focused, disciplined, grounded, you won't fold. You won't break. You might bend, but you won't. That's the power of a trained mind. I'll continue building this until we reach the full 15,000 words. Want me to keep going now or send the rest in parts for review and feedback along the way? You got to understand something about this world. It's designed to distract you. Every time you wake up, the world throws noise at you, notifications, news, nonsense. Everybody wants your attention. Everybody's trying to sell you something, convince you of something, pull you into their drama. And if you don't train your mind to focus, really focus, you'll spend your life reacting instead of creating. You'll be pulled in 1,000 directions and you'll never get anywhere. That's how most people live, scattered, stressed, stuck. and they wonder why nothing changes. You can't build a strong life with a weak mind. You just can't. It don't matter how talented you are. It don't matter how many degrees you got. If your mindset is soft, your life will collapse the moment pressure shows up. You ever notice that the most successful people, truly successful, are calm under pressure? That's not luck, that's not talent, that's mental training. That's years of practicing self-control, discipline, and presence. You don't get that overnight, you gotta earn it. Now let me tell you what most folks do wrong. They try to train their mind only when things fall apart. They wait until the breakup, the layoff, the betrayal, the health scare. Then they want to pray, meditate, get serious. But by then, they're already in the storm and they ain't got no shelter. You can't build mental strength in the middle of chaos. You got to build it before the chaos comes. You train in the calm so you can perform. That's how winners think. That's how they move. Every morning you wake up, you got a choice. You can either react to life or command it. And the only way you command it is if your mind is sharp. You can't afford to be passive. You can't afford to be lazy with your thoughts. You got to set the tone every day. What am I thinking? What am I believing? What am I expecting? What am I feeding my mind today? That's your job. That's your responsibility, and nobody can do it for you. Let's get something straight right now. Your mind is programmable. And guess who's doing the programming? You are, with what you watch, what you listen to, what you say, who you spend time with. That's why you got to protect your mental space like your life depends on it, because it does. You wouldn't let a thief walk into your house and start stealing your stuff, would you? Then why are you letting toxic thoughts and people steal your peace every day? Train your mind to shut that door. Train it to recognize what doesn't belong. If it doesn't serve your growth, it doesn't belong. Now listen, I know what some of y'all thinking. That's easy to say, but I got real problems. I got bills, I got kids, I got stress. I get it, life is real. But that's exactly why you got to train your mind not to escape your problems, but to rise above them, to face them with strength instead of fear, to respond with wisdom instead of panic. You want a better life? It starts with better thinking. Every change you want, more success, more love, more peace, it begins in the mind. You fix the mind, you fix the life. Let me tell you a secret. Most people never even question their own thoughts. They think whatever pops into their head must be true. That's crazy. Your mind will lie to you if it's not trained. It'll tell you you're not good enough. It'll tell you you're too old, too late, too broken. It'll convince you to stay small, stay scared, stay stuck. And if you don't check that voice, if you don't challenge it, it becomes your reality. Not because it's true, but because you believed it. That's why mental training isn't optional. It's necessary. You got to build a mindset that works for you, not against you. A mindset that pushes you forward, not holds you back. And that takes effort. It takes repetition, it takes intention, just like training your body. You don't go to the gym one time and expect a six-pack. So don't expect one journal entry or one meditation session to change your life. It's a process, daily, consistent, intentional. But if you stick with it, the results will blow your mind. You'll start to feel different, think different, move different. You'll stop reacting and start responding. You'll stop blaming and start building, and people will notice. They'll see the strength in your eyes, the peace in your spirit, the power in your presence, and they'll wonder what changed, and you'll know it wasn't luck, it wasn't magic, it was discipline, it was work. It was training your mind every single day to see beyond the noise, beyond the fear, beyond the limits. Now, here's the truth most people run from. You can't keep saying you want to change your life without changing your mind. You can't keep dreaming big and thinking small. You can't walk around begging for peace while entertaining chaos in your thoughts. If your mind is a mess, your life will follow. If your mind is focused, your life will follow. Everything starts there. You want better relationships? Train your mind to recognize your worth. You want financial freedom? Train your mind to stop thinking like a victim and start thinking like a builder. You want joy? Train your mind to look for it, even when life ain't giving you nothing but struggle, because it's there, but you got to train your mind to see it. And don't confuse mental training with perfection. You're still human. You're still going to feel doubt, fear, stress. You're still going to get knocked down. But when your mind is trained, you won't stay down. You'll know how to shift. You'll know how to reframe. You'll know how to dig into a deeper place and pull yourself up. That's the gift. That's the edge. That's the power of mental strength. It keeps you standing when everything around you tells you to fall. Everybody wants the results. Everybody wants the lifestyle. But are you willing to put in the inner work? Are you willing to turn off the noise, sit in silence, and listen to your own thoughts? Are you willing to look in the mirror and admit where you've been undisciplined, unfocused, distracted? Are you willing to be uncomfortable long enough to grow? Because if you truly are, there's no limit to what you can do. Your mind can either be your jail cell or your launch pad. It can keep you stuck or set you free. It can break you or it can build you. That decision is yours and yours alone. But you don't have to wait for permission. You don't need a degree. You don't need a big break. All you need is a decision, a real decision to start training your mind, to stop living on autopilot, to stop giving your power away, and to take control of your life from the inside out. Start today, not next week, not next year, right now. Wake up with intention. Speak life into your day. Check your thoughts. Protect your peace. Stay focused on what matters. And when that voice of doubt shows up, and it will, you look it in the eye and say, not today. I've been training for this, because that's what this is all about. This is about showing up for yourself every day. This is about building something within you that no storm can destroy. This is about choosing strength over fear, clarity over confusion, and discipline over chaos. This is about stepping into your full potential, not just once in a while, but every damn day. So take the time to train your mind. Because the life you want, the peace you crave, the power you need, it all begins there. It's not outside you, it's within you. Always has been. So stop looking out and start digging in. And remember, you don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for. So work on your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. This is your time. This is your shot. And if you train your mind, there is absolutely nothing you can't overcome. Let's talk about the habits that shape your mind. Because the truth is, it's not just about what you think, it's about what you do consistently. You can't say you want clarity and spend every free moment scrolling through nonsense. You can't say you want peace and wake up to chaos every morning. Your environment matters. Your routines matter. Your choices matter. Every habit you have is either sharpening your mind or dulling it. It's either pulling you closer to strength or dragging you into weakness. And you know which ones need to go. You know what's stealing your energy. You know what's been keeping you mentally soft. So be honest. Stop playing dumb. Start making cuts. Cut the noise. Cut the distractions. Cut the relationships that drain you. You don't have time to keep pouring into people who bring confusion to your spirit. You don't have time to keep feeding your mind junk and expecting to feel strong. This ain't about being mean, it's about being intentional. You have a destiny to fulfill, you have a mission to complete, and you can't afford to entertain anything that pulls you off course. Let me remind you of something. Your mind was never meant to be a garbage can for other people's drama. Stop letting the world dump its problems into your head. Stop absorbing energy that was never meant for you. Protect your mind like you protect your home. Would you leave your front door wide open at night and just hope no one walks in? Of course not. So why are you leaving your mental door open to everything? You need boundaries, you need discipline, you need focus. Mental strength doesn't come from avoiding problems. It comes from facing them with courage and clarity. And that clarity only comes when your mind is trained to think higher, to think longer, to think deeper. See, a weak mind only sees what's right in front of it. A strong mind sees beyond the pain, beyond the fear, beyond the temporary. A strong mind keeps its eyes on the vision even when life gets messy, especially when life gets messy. Now, don't get discouraged if this takes time. It's supposed to. This is a marathon, not a sprint. You don't unlearn years of mental habits overnight. You don't go from chaos to clarity in a week. But every day you show up and train, you get sharper. Every day you challenge your thoughts, you get stronger. Every day you choose discipline over distraction, you get closer. Closer to the version of you that doesn't fold under pressure. Closer to the version of you that handles setbacks with grace. Closer to the version of you that knows exactly who they are. And that's what this is really about. Identity. When your mind is trained, your identity becomes unshakable. You stop chasing validation. You stop performing for approval. You stop second guessing yourself every time someone doesn't agree. You become rooted, anchored, grounded, because your power isn't coming from outside anymore. It's coming from within. And that's when you become dangerous in the best way, because now you can't be manipulated. You can't be thrown off track. You're locked in, focused, unbothered. That's the level we're after. That's the version of you we're building. But it's going to take work. It's going to take honesty. You got to be willing to call yourself out. You got to be willing to face the parts of you that you've been avoiding. Not to shame yourself, but to grow, to evolve, to rise. That's what training your mind really means. It means being relentless about your own transformation. It means holding yourself to a higher standard, not just when people are watching, but especially when no one is. It's in those quiet moments when nobody's clapping, nobody's encouraging you, nobody even knows what you're battling. That's when your mind is forged. That's where the strength is built. That's where the inner warrior wakes up. So don't despise those moments. Embrace them. Use them. Let them mold you into someone who can't be shaken. And look, I know it gets hard. There will be days when the doubt feels louder than your belief. There will be moments when you want to quit, when you question if it's even worth it. That's normal. But that's not your cue to stop. That's your cue to go deeper. That's your cue to remind yourself why you started. You didn't come this far to fold. You didn't come this far to settle. You came to grow. You came to conquer. You came to become. Let me tell you something that changed my life. Your thoughts are not facts. Just because you think it doesn't mean it's true. Just because you feel fear doesn't mean you should quit. Just because your mind tells you you're not ready doesn't mean you're not. You have to train your mind to question the lies, to confront the fear, to rewire the narrative. That's real mental strength, not just thinking positive, but thinking powerfully, deliberately, strategically. So stop waiting to feel ready. You'll be waiting forever. Take action now. Train now. Decide now. Your future is shaped by the decisions you make today, not the ones you plan to make someday. Every time you choose to train your mind instead of numbing it, you win. Every time you choose to confront your excuses instead of feeding them, you win. And all those little wins, they add up. They become your edge. They become your advantage. Because here's the truth, in a world full of noise, the person who is mentally disciplined becomes unstoppable. While others are complaining, you're creating. While others are panicking, you're planning. While others are falling apart, you're standing tall. That's what mental training gives you, a quiet kind of power, a silent kind of strength. And it shows up when it matters most. So don't you dare quit on yourself. Don't you dare settle for a life of mental clutter and emotional chaos. You were built for more. But you won't access it with a scattered mind. You access it by locking in, by building focus like a muscle, by choosing clarity over comfort, purpose over pleasure, discipline over distraction. You still with me? Because we're not done yet. We still got work to do, ground to cover, layers to peel back, but we're on the right track. You're not just reading this, you're absorbing it, you're building, you're preparing, and soon the results will speak for themselves.